test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 level language proficiency test. There are 3 parts to the test. You will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
1.
What music will they have at the party?
Are you going to bring your guitar to the party?
It's broken, I'm afraid, but you can play the piano for us.
I'm not good enough. Let's just play your new CDs.
All right. I'll bring the guitar another time.
2.
When will the man go on holiday?
I can't go on holiday in June because my parents are coming to stay with me then.
Why don't you go in August? It's a lovely month in the mountains.
July's better. There aren't so many people. So I'll leave on the 12th and come back at the end of the month.
OK. Then you'll be back for my birthday party in August.
3.
What will the weather be like tomorrow?
It's very hot, isn't it?
Oh, yes, I love it. I hope it doesn't rain.
Well, it'll be cold and windy tomorrow.
Oh, dear. We never have hot weather for long.
4.
Which dish did Mark cook in the competition?
So you've won the Teenage Chef competition, Mark. Congratulations.
Thanks. In the competition, you choose whether to cook a meat, fish or vegetarian dish. Then you're judged on the taste and how attractive it looks. I couldn't decide between fish and vegetables. I've never been brilliant at meat dishes. Then I found the judge was an expert in cooking fish, which worried me. So I went for my other choice and won.
5.
Where is the girl's book now?
Excuse me, I think I left my book on this table. Have you seen it?
Oh, yes. I took it inside with the empty glass when I cleared the table. I gave it to the manager who put it with the other lost property. He keeps it all in the drawer of his desk.
I see. Where is he now?
He's on the phone inside the cafe. Why don't you go inside? He'll be finished in a minute.
6.
Who lives with Josh in his house?
Does your house seem empty now your sister's left home, Josh?
Not really. My grandmother's moved into her room and she doesn't go out much. It's really nice having her there because my dad never comes home until later And if my mum's out for the evening, Grandma cooks supper for me.
7.
What will the girl take with her on holiday?
Have you packed for your holiday?
No, I need to go shopping before I can do that. Last holiday, my suitcase handle got broken, so I need something new to put all my stuff in. But suitcases are so heavy to carry.
I always take a backpack. You can carry more that way.
Yes, I thought about one of those, but good quality ones are expensive. I'll get one of those big sports bags, you know, one you can pull along. They don't cost much, so it doesn't matter if it gets torn.
8.
What time will the train to Manchester leave?
The train arriving at platform 6 is the 11:45 from Manchester. The train due to arrive at platform 4 in approximately 5 minutes is the delayed 11:30 train to Manchester. The train will now depart at 11:50 and travel non-stop. We apologise to passengers for the delay. Refreshments will not be available on this train.
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 level language proficiency test. There are 3 parts to the test. You will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
1. What colour is Mary's coat?
Hi, Mary. What have you bought?
This coat. Do you like it?
Yes, yellow looks good on you.
Do you think I can use my blue bag with it?
Your brown one will look better.
2.
What did the woman repair?
Hi. What have you done today?
You know that broken shelf above my desk? Well, I repaired it and then I went shopping.
What did you buy?
A new chair.
3.
What are they going to buy for Pam?
Last year we gave Pam a book for her birthday. Shall we buy her another one this year?
I think we should give her a plant or some chocolates.
But she doesn't like sweet things.
Let's get her something to put in her garden, but not a book again.
4.
Where will the friends meet?
Hi, it's Kimberly. I got your message and I'd love to go to the movies. There's a film called Spy Game or a comedy. I don't mind which. Shall we meet outside the cinema?
Or I know, at the burger bar on the corner. We could have a snack before we go in, or we could meet at the bus station.
Mum's driving me into town this afternoon to buy some trainers, so I won't be near the station. But something to eat first is a good idea. Shall we say 6 o'clock?
OK.
5.
Which sport will the boy do soon at the centre?
Have you been to the new water sports centre yet?
Oh yes, it's brilliant. There are 2 indoor pools, one for underwater diving and one for swimming. And you can also have sailing lessons on the lake.
That's what I'm doing there next weekend, actually. I was hoping to take water skiing lessons, but the leaflet says they're not starting those until next year.
6.
What can't the woman find?
I'm going to mend and paint the cupboard in your bedroom today.
Great, Mum. Anything I can do to help?
Yes, can you go to the shop and get me a new hammer? This one's broken. But before you do that, ask your dad what he's done with the paintbrush. I've looked everywhere for it. There weren't any in the garage. All I could find was this knife, which I lost months ago.
7.
What is the weather forecast for tomorrow?
And now, for those of you planning to go to the Rock Festival tomorrow, you'll want to know what the weather's going to be like. As we go through today, the heavy rain will gradually disappear by the end of the afternoon. Tomorrow, we can expect some sunshine with just a few light showers, and then some very hot and dry weather is likely by the weekend.
8.
What did the boy buy?
I got most of the shopping you asked for, Mum. I got the last of the bread and some orange juice, but sorry, there weren't any newspapers left.
Oh, never mind. I need to remember to go in the morning. But what about the tomatoes for the salad?
Ah, I forgot. I'll go back for them.
Oh, don't worry. I'll stop and pick some up when I go out to collect your sister.
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 level language proficiency test. There are 3 parts to the test. You will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
1.
When is the man's appointment?
Good morning. I'd like someone to cut my hair, please. Can I make an appointment?
Certainly. Wednesday or Thursday morning or Friday afternoon?
On Friday, I'm going to go to France. What about Thursday afternoon? I'm afraid I have a meeting all day Wednesday.
Well, it's a little difficult, but if that's the only afternoon you can come, we'll see you then.
2.
Which is the aunt's postcard?
Look, Sandra, I got this really nice postcard from my aunt.
Oh, what a pretty village. And it's right by a river. Is it in the mountains?
Yes, but you can't see them in the picture.
Perhaps they're behind those tall trees.
3.
What time will the plane to Milan leave?
Excuse me, what time is the next plane to Milan?
It should leave at 7:15, but it's an hour late today.
Oh, that's a problem. If it doesn't leave until 8:15, I'll be 1 hour late for my meeting.
I'm sorry, sir. There's nothing I can do.
4.
Which present has the girl bought her mother?
Hi, it's me, Jane. I've got Mum's birthday present. I think she'll like it. Yes, that's right, a gold-coloured one. She's always writing letters, so she'll find it useful. I thought about a CD, but I'm never really sure what music she likes, and Dad's bought her a new pair of earrings for her birthday anyway. I'm sure she'll like what I've got her.
5.
Which TV programme will they watch together?
Hasn't that basketball match finished yet? You know I want to watch the wildlife programme at 9 o'clock.
It's cancelled, and everything's running late because the rock concert finished later than expected. Sit down and watch this match with me. It's really exciting and more interesting than looking at animals.
Oh, OK then.
6.
What time is the swimming lesson today?
Hi, Judy. Do you want to play tennis after school? Say about 4:30.
That would be fun, but I've got a swimming lesson. It's usually at 5:15, but it's half an hour earlier this evening at 5:15. It takes me ages to cycle to the swimming pool, so I really don't think I'll have time today. Let's try tomorrow.
OK.
7.
Which subject does the boy like best?
I really like the new IT teacher. Our project for this term is to design a new website. I've always wanted to know how to do that. The sports teacher is much more serious, but that's still my favourite subject. Last year, I used to really like geography, but the teacher we have now gives us so much homework.
8.
Which T-shirt does the boy decide to buy?
I'd like to buy a black t-shirt with short sleeves, please. Large size.
I'm afraid the black ones have long sleeves, but we've got short sleeves in the lighter colours. Do you want a round neck or a V-neck?
It must be round neck. Let me think. OK, I'll take one of the short-sleeved ones. The colour's not so important, really.
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 level language proficiency test. There are 3 parts to the test. you will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
1. What does Joe's father do?
What's your father's job, Joe?
He was a pilot, but now he's a farmer. What about your father?
He's a photographer.
Oh, I want to do that. If I don't become a pilot.
2.
What's George doing now?
Hi, where's George? Is he still studying?
He's driving his girlfriend to the airport.
Oh, will he be back for the volleyball game?
I don't think so. We'll have to play without him.
3.
Which room will the woman stay in?
Here's your key, Mrs. Hill. Your room is number 43. Up the stairs and turn right.
Is it a quiet room?
Well, it's quieter at the back of the hotel. Here, have this one, if you prefer.
Number 23. Thanks. I'll need the room for 6 nights.
4.
Who will be on the stage next?
And that was Shark, with Joe on piano and Rich on guitar. Lots of music to come, including the Three Biscuits, with songs from their new CD. But first, here are Subway. You all know the drummer and guitarist, but singing here with them for the first time is Sarah Ireland, the drummer's sister. Please give her a big welcome.
5.
What time will the pie be ready?
What time is it, Mum? Do you think the apple pie will be ready yet?
It's 4:35.
And the pie went into the oven at 4:15?
That's right. You could check it at 5 and turn the heat down a bit, but don't take it out until 20 past. That's 45 minutes to go.
OK. I'm hungry already.
6.
Which photo does the girl dislike?
I've got the photos back. Look, this one of us on the beach is just brilliant.
Yes, you must get a copy for me to put in my photo album. It was a great day, but that other one's good too.
I don't know why you think so. That dress I'm wearing looks awful. I only bought it because it was half price. The one of us on the boat isn't bad. Look.
Apart from the fact that we look seasick.
7.
What should the students take on the school trip?
Now, you won't need any money for the bus or your entrance ticket to the museum tomorrow because that's already paid for. But bring some change for when you get thirsty and want to buy a drink. The only food or drink allowed on the bus is fruit. Bring some with you because it's quite a long trip and you'll get hungry. And you'll need to bring all your coloured pencils for the work I'm going to ask you to do there.
8.
Where do the boys decide to go?
So, we've got 3 hours. Shall we go skateboarding in the park? What do you think?
Well, there's the latest space film, which is meant to be good. Or there's a new computer game shop which has just opened.
Oh, well, I haven't got enough money to buy a new game anyway. Let's go and watch the film.
OK, we can go skateboarding any time.
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 Level Language Proficiency Test. There are 3 parts to the test. You will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
One.
What will the boy wear in the race? Have you got everything for the race?
Yes, I think so. I'll wear these long running trousers.
It's quite cold. Don't you want your hat too?
It's in my bag. I'll put it on later.
2.
What colour will the room be?
What colour are you going to have your room, Anne?
I'd like to paint it green, but Mum thinks yellow looks warmer.
Orange is my favourite colour.
I like it too, but I'll have to do what Mum wants.
3.
Where did Minnie and Richard first meet?
Richard, have you met the new student in our class?
Do you mean Minnie?
Yes, she's the one who's a very good tennis player.
I've known her since January. That's when her family moved next door to mine.
4.
What has the girl lost?
Can I help you? You look worried. Is everything all right?
Well, I was in the playground about 10 minutes ago with my friends and I got a call on my mobile phone. I had to get a pen out of my bag to write something down and I think my purse fell out. I can't find it now. Do you know if anyone has handed it in?
You know you're not supposed to bring phones to school. Anyway, let me go and check. What colour is it?
5.
When will Jack's mum pick him up?
Mum, I'm ringing to tell you I'm at Tim's house. Football practice finished early, so we walked here together.
OK. Well, it's 5:30 now, so I'll come in the car and pick you up. It'll take me about half an hour, so I'll see you at 6.
Oh, there's something good on television then. Can you come and get me after it at 7?
I can't, Jack. I've got to pick your dad up from the station then.
6.
Which postcard will they send?
We mustn't forget to send Mum a postcard. How about this one with a picture of the mountain?
Well, it's nice, but we can't actually see it from where we're staying. What about a view of the lake and the village instead? Or perhaps one of the garden pictures, if you think she'd prefer it? Look at the cottage and all the flowers.
I think your first idea was better. We could put a cross to show where we're staying.
Right then, let's do that.
7.
What do they decide to buy?
Look, Kate, there are some of those biscuits you like.
Oh, yes. There aren't many in a packet though, Mum. Why don't we have this cake instead? Remember, I've got my friends coming tomorrow.
Oh, I haven't forgotten. I've already made a cake and I've bought lots of ice cream.
Well, I suppose some biscuits would be nice with ice cream. Do we need anything else?
8.
What has the girl forgotten to bring?
Finish your drink. We'll be late for class. What are you looking for now? Don't tell me you've forgotten your homework. You said you were working on it really late.
Don't worry, it was the first thing I put in my bag. Look, here it is. I won't be a second. Just checking everything. Pencil case. Now where did I... Oh, you'll be able to lend me a pen, won't you? Phone. Oh, here it is. In my pocket, as usual.
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 level language proficiency test. There are 3 parts to the test. You will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
One.
How much is the car?
So which car are you buying?
The Monarch 2000. It's lovely, but I have to get £1,000 more from the bank first, because I don't have enough money.
It's a lot of money. £3,000. I could live on that for a year.
Well, cars are expensive.
2.
What's Eleanor going to take to the party?
Hi, Eleanor. Are you taking some cans of cola to the party?
Of course. And a pizza.
I'm going to take a big bottle of orange juice and some biscuits.
Chocolate ones, I hope.
3.
Where will Susan buy her eggs?
We need some more eggs, Susan.
I'll drive out to the farm and get them tomorrow.
It'll be quicker to go to the market or to the little shop across the road.
I know, but I prefer to know that they haven't been on the shelves for a long time.
4.
How does the man want his son to help him?
Jamie, could you do something for me?
Well, it depends what it is. I'm meeting my mates in town.
I want to clean the upstairs windows this afternoon, but I lent the ladder to John. Could you come next door with me and help me carry it back? I'll give you a lift into town afterwards, if you like.
Sure, Dad.
5.
Which TV programme is on at 9 o'clock tonight?
Because of the football finishing late, there are some changes to this evening's programmes. We won't now show the nature programme about the sharks found in the Pacific at 9 o'clock. Instead, the cartoon film The Mighty Heroes will be at this time, an hour later than advertised. You can see the nature programme at its usual time next week.
6.
What will the boy do first?
I'm off now, Mum. I'm going to meet Ben at the youth club because he's bought a new wheel for his bike and he wants me to help him put it on. And I've got to go to the library to take my books back sometime today too.
Well, do that before you start work on the bike, because it isn't open this afternoon.
OK. And we're going to play table tennis after we've done the bike, so I won't see you until supper this evening. Bye.
7.
Where will the girls meet?
Will you meet me in the park?
OK. Where? By the entrance?
No, at the ice cream kiosk. You know, the one by the lake.
OK.
8.
Which chair does the man want?
Good afternoon. Can you show me your office chairs? I'm looking for something with a high back and arms.
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 level language proficiency test. There are 3 parts to the test. You will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
One.
What time does the film begin?
Would you like to see a film this afternoon?
OK. What time?
It starts at 1:45, but we need tickets. So let's meet at the cinema at 1:15.
How long is the film?
1.5 hours.
2.
How will the man travel to London?
We drove to London last weekend.
Really? I'm going to go there for the day tomorrow.
Oh, yes. Are you going by coach?
It's the best way. There's a fast train, but it's too expensive for me.
3.
Where's the sports centre?
Excuse me, is the sports centre near here?
Yes, it's about 10 minutes walk. Go past the bank and take the second road on the left. It's on the corner.
Thanks very much.
4.
What is Sarah's mother doing?
When can we go out, Mum?
In about half an hour, Sarah, when I've finished doing the washing up.
5.
What luggage is the man taking on holiday?
I thought you were only taking 2 suitcases on holiday with you.
Well, I was, but I decided to take my overnight bag as well. I couldn't get everything into 2 cases, and there's no way I could carry a third.
6.
Which photograph does the man like?
I'm really disappointed with my holiday photos. The only good one is the one of us all standing together on the cliff top, looking down at the beach.
7.
When and where are they meeting?
What time are we meeting Jane?
At 7:30, outside the restaurant.
I told her to wait inside, at a table.
I know, but she said she'd prefer to meet us outside.
8.
What will Chris get for his birthday?
It's Chris's birthday on Friday. What shall we get him?
It's difficult. Tapes, CDs. But he's already got a lot of those.
We could get him something to wear. No, let's get him a book on sport. He's really keen on that.
Why not?
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 level language proficiency test. There are 3 parts to the test. You will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
One.
How much petrol does the woman want?
Could you put 30 litres of petrol in my car, please?
Did you say 13 litres?
No, 30 litres. Fill it up, please.
2.
Which table do they buy?
Look, this round table is very nice.
Yes, but it's made of plastic. It's only got 3 legs.
Do you want one with 4 legs?
Yes. Look, here's a square one. Let's have this.
OK.
3.
What time does the class start?
Are you going to the English class this afternoon, Susan?
Yes, it's at 3 o'clock, isn't it?
2 o'clock? I've got to go to the dentist's at 2:30, so I can't go.
Don't worry, I'll get the homework for you.
4.
What does Mr. Jones look like?
So could you describe Mr. Jones for me, please, madam?
Well, he's about 40 years old, bald, with a moustache. He's got large ears and he wears glasses.
5.
Where is he going to plant the tree?
Where are you going to plant the tree? By the front door?
No, that would be silly. It'll grow too big. I'm going to put it at the back of the garage. When it's grown, it'll give us some shade in the summer.
I thought it would be better right at the other end of the lawn.
Oh, no.
6.
What is the man going to buy?
Shall I get some fruit for the picnic?
Yes. Can you get some oranges and bananas?
I'm not very keen on oranges. How about grapes instead?
They're so expensive at the moment. Just get the bananas.
7.
Which is Gary's room?
Look, Gary sent us a postcard of his hotel, and he's put a cross to show us his window.
Ah, right in the middle.
Yes, he says he wanted a room on the top floor, but the only room available was on the floor below that.
8.
Which is the best vehicle for the man?
Good morning, sir. How can I help you?
Well, I'd like to hire a car, please. Something fast and comfortable, with enough room for 4 adults and a child.
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 level language proficiency test. There are 3 parts to the test. You will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
What was the weather like on Emma's holiday?
Did you enjoy your holiday in Australia, Emma?
Yes, but it was wet most of the time.
Really? Isn't it always hot in Australia?
Not when I was there.
2.
How will Mary travel to Scotland?
Are you taking the train to Scotland tomorrow, Mary?
No, I'm driving there. It's cheaper.
Why don't you go by coach?
Oh, no. It takes 7 hours.
3.
Where are the shoes?
Mum, have you seen my brown shoes?
Yes, they're under the table.
No, they're not. I left them on the chair this morning. But they're not there now.
There they are, under the window.
4.
What was in the woman's bag?
Was there anything valuable in the bag that was stolen, madam?
Yes, it had my purse in it, and my keys.
Anything else?
Well, luckily I was wearing my glasses, so no, nothing else.
5.
Which film is the man talking about?
I'm sure I've seen this film before. That bit where she's standing on the bridge watching the sunset reminded me.
6.
What should the woman do first?
Well, you put the washing powder in the machine.
Is that before or after you put the clothes in?
Oh, it's after you put them in. And then remember to switch it on at the wall when you're ready.
7.
What is David going to do this weekend?
Could you help me paint my flat this weekend, David?
Oh, sorry. I'm going sailing. I decided to enjoy myself for a change. I spent last weekend helping my mum do her garden, and I need to repair the car next weekend.
8.
How did the man get to work today?
Sorry I'm late. I never know whether to take the underground or drive. I was held up in a traffic jam for half an hour, and then, when I got to work, the car park was full. I think I'll have to move nearer so I can walk or use my bike.
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening test for levels from 3 to 5 of the Vietnam 6 Level Language Proficiency Test. There are 3 parts to the test. You will hear each part once. For each part of the test, there will be time for you to look through the questions and time for you to check your answers. Write your answers on the question paper. You will have 5 minutes at the end of the test to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. The recording will now be stopped. Please ask any question now, because you must not speak during the test. Now, open your question paper and look at part 1. There are 8 questions in this part. For each question, there are 4 options and a short recording. For each question, choose the correct answer, A, B, C, or D. You now have 48 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now, we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
When will the football match start next week?
Does the football match start at 12:15 every week?
No, it was early this week. It usually begins at 2 o'clock.
So, it'll be the usual time next week?
Yes.
2.
Which box of chocolates do they buy?
Which box of chocolate shall we get Mum for her birthday?
Those round boxes with the flowers on are nice.
Yes, but that square box is cheaper.
But it's Mum's birthday. Let's get the big round one. We've got enough money.
OK.
3.
When's Wendy's birthday?
Wendy, you're 21 on Saturday, aren't you?
No, my birthday's on May the 18th.
Well, Saturday is the 18th.
No, it's not. It's the 16th.
4.
Which tie does the man choose?
Which tie shall I wear for the interview? Do you think my blue silk one would look all right?
A bit boring. I'd wear something with a small pattern. Squares or spots. Something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'll wear the plain one.
5.
What time is the appointment?
Dr. Brown's clinic. Can I help you?
Yes. Can I have an appointment to see the doctor, please?
Well, he's free at 11:15 today, or tomorrow at 10:15, or 5 to 2.
I'll come tomorrow afternoon. Thank you.
6.
How did the film end?
And in this film, a young man and his girlfriend try to rob a bank so they can afford to get married and go round the world together. But he gets caught outside the bank, and their dream never comes true.
7.
What time does the train to Rome leave?
Excuse me, what time does this train leave?
This train leaves for Paris at 5 to 3.
Paris? Isn't it the Rome train?
No, that goes at 3:25 from platform 4.
8.
What is broken?
I'm terribly sorry, Mum. I've just broken something.
Oh dear, what was it?
Well, I got up too quickly from the table to answer the phone and knocked one of your plates onto the floor. At least it wasn't your new lamp.
Oh, I thought I heard a crash.
That is the end of part 1. This is the listening